You are watching the Sports Today match report with me, Nikhil Naz, and we're talking about game number 51 between Mumbai Indians and Gujarat Titans, a game that was built up as the battle of Hardik Pandya versus Rohit Sharma. Of course, you can't miss the fact that Hardik was playing for the very first time against his former team, that is the Mumbai Indians. But who is it that dominated this game? We're going to look at 5 very crucial points, and our point number 1 has to be about Daniel Sams. Though it happened right at the end of the game, that's still our numero uno point. Daniel Sam defending 172 that his team had scored, had to defend 9 runs off the last over. That most would have thought would have been easy, considering they had 2 very capable batsmen, Gujarat Titans, in the middle, one of them of course being the star in David Miller. But Daniel Sam defended those 9 runs. In fact, he gave away just 3 runs in that final over. It takes me back to that outstanding over where Karthik Tyagi had once defended just 4 runs. Here Daniel Sams was defending 9, but just gave away 3 runs to help his team win only their second match this IPL season. And what was really interesting and really heartening to see by Daniel Sams, one, he nailed those wide of the off-stump Yorkers to the tee, almost to the wide line, but not quite wide and not really in the range of the batsman. So that was precise bowling by Daniel Sams. The other thing, last ball, imagine 6 runs needed, Miller on strike who can clearly hit a 6, and what does Daniel Sams do? He bowls a slower one and a ball that Miller failed to pick. So he swung his bat before and the ball came later. You needed to have a lot of courage to bowl a slower one, because you run the risk of getting hit for a 6 if the batsman spots it, but he was not able to spot it, and that's how well deceived that slower one by Daniel Sams was. So that definitely is the story of the match and our point number 1. The other big highlights from this game, you have to look at Rohit Sharma getting 43 of 28 deliveries, and this was another indication. Rohit Sharma clearly throughout this IPL was one guy who was not looking out of form, but big runs weren't coming, and I'd consider this a considerable amount of runs that he got, 43 of 28, which also reiterates the fact that strike rate is never an issue with Rohit Sharma. He always will play his strokes. It's just a matter of getting his shot selection right. Today he got it for most part. Of course, got out trying to hit one too many, but then for most part his shot selection was great. Played his strokes, great strike rate, the start that his team needed, 43. Him getting those runs are going to be very, very crucial going forward for Indian cricket as well. Point number 3, from a high for Mumbai Indians to a disappointment, and that is Kieron Pollard. Today just managed 4 runs of 4 completely and looked like a bunny in front of Rashid Khan, who came in, bowled to the plan, bowled him a googly and got him out. As if you could predict that. If you'd seen the battles between Pollard and Rashid Khan and leg spinners in particular, you would have known that this would have happened, and Pollard just succumbed to that sort of pressure and that kind of bowling. His form has been consistently bad this season. In the 10 matches that he's played, 129 runs, an average of just 14, and the strike rate of 109. Not great reading for someone like Kieron Pollard, who's been a match winner. Maybe he's near to the end of his career. Already announced that international retirement. For all you know, the retirement from even franchise cricket may not be too far away. At least going forward in the next few games, it's going to be very difficult for him to find a spot in the Mumbai Indians team. Another positive for Mumbai Indians, Tim David getting 44 of just 21 deliveries. Remember, he's the guy that they bought for 8.25 crore. Played him the first 2 games, couldn't get too many runs, and then dropped him. Now he's coming good in the last few games, and it's telling you why that kind of money was justifiable for someone like Tim David. He's plied his trade across the globe in T20 franchise cricket and is showing exactly why he's so highly rated. Maybe Mumbai made a mistake there, not persisting with him. They should have probably persisted with him, and maybe their results wouldn't have been as bad as it is at the moment. So they're completely out, and that brings me to a point number 5 at the points table. No team is yet guaranteed of that top 4 playoff spot, because Gujarat couldn't win. Now they've had 2 losses in a row. 11 matches, 16 points for them. Remember, they had reached there in 9 games itself. In fact, now as the point table stands, Gujarat could fall from that numero uno spot that they've occupied for a very long time. Lucknow could go on top if they beat KKR in the game that's about to come. And remember, Lucknow was also a team earlier in the season had fallen out of the top 4. So that's how topsy-turvy this IPL season has been, as has been most other seasons before this. So it's really a very, very exciting season. For all you know, like previous seasons, we might just know who our top 4 are going to be right at the end of the group stage. Thanks so much for watching our daily match report. Don't forget to